Hello again, it's me, Linnell. I'm making this kind of discussion video on the natural hair hierarchy. I read this article one day online and it kind of like sparked my interest because it was talking about a certain type of natural, and I feel like that's something that kind of occurs specifically within the black community. A lot of times you'll get people saying, "Oh, you know, you have looser curls or you have kinkier curls or whatever," and it's fine to identify those things if it's for figuring out how to manage and take care of your hair. For instance, the whole like um what do you call it, the curl pattern chart and all this other stuff. And so you have this chart that basically shows whether or not your hair is like more kinky, more curly, more zigzag shaped, more S curl shaped, blah 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 blah. And that's fine. I mean, like, I use it myself. I mean, to kind of give myself an idea of the curl pattern, I guess you would say, that I have, so I know how to manage my hair. But I think the issue comes in with this hierarchy it starts to create. So you have people who are more comfortable with like boasting or identifying with a certain curl texture that makes them a little closer to what's considered good hair, which is what I feel like is kind of detrimental, kind of bad for our community specifically. So like I've even had people tell me, and I feel like I consider myself kinky curly, but I've had people tell me in particular, "Oh well, my hair's not gonna curl like that," and it's fine if you're saying it because that's fact. But if you're saying it in a negative way, as if, "Oh, my hair's not going to curl like that because I have bad hair," or when you get people touching your hair and saying, "Oh, your hair is so," I feel like in the natural hair community, I mean, it's great to be empowering and it's great to, love your hair and things like that. And it's nice to know how to manage and take care of your hair. But I feel like the con to this whole natural, I'm taking my socks off, sorry. The con to this whole natural hair community is this whole natural hair hierarchy where you have people who are, I guess, representing natural hair but aren't really representing all natural hair, or people who have a certain curl pattern trying to achieve a different curl pattern, or like by, I don't know, using methods to loosen their curl pattern, or hey, you can even count the twist out as a means to, it can be a style, but a lot of people, I feel like, use it as a way to try to manipulate their own natural hair. And I feel like that's when natural hair becomes a bad thing. When you start you're doing it, but you're doing all of these things to kind of say, "Hey, my hair isn't as nappy or isn't as kinky as you may think it is." Like, look, I mean, like, it gets ridiculous because now it gets to a point where you have people taking like, "Oh, you have a toothpick curl," or, "No, my curl is wide enough to go through a pencil," or, "Oh, I have like a curl that will fit around a marker," and stuff. Like, who cares? Who cares about all of that? If anything, the whole movement should be focused more towards like, and it is, but there is this whole hierarchy that kind of happens, and I've seen it myself. But if you're not happy for your hair, don't be natural. Don't sit up here and talk about, first of all, don't sit up here and chastise other people who may have a different curl pattern than you, or try to bring them down. And also, don't sit up here and try to put down people who may have a kinkier curl pattern than you as well. So, I mean, I feel like that's where natural hair starts to, in my opinion, hurt us more so than help us, because even within our community, we start making these little hierarchies, which isn't right at all. If you're natural, whether you have 4C, BG, whatever, or 3C, 3A, be happy with what you have. Be happy with your hair. Otherwise, get a perm, get a texturizer, and stop sitting up here complaining and to everybody else and about everybody else. But yeah, that's my thoughts on the whole natural hair hierarchy. Um, Hopefully to start some discussion about that and to kind of break that whole mold. It shouldn't matter if someone's hair is slightly more curly or slightly more kinky than yours. It's your hair. It's their hair. They should love their hair just as much. And if you don't, like I said before, change it and stop complaining. All right. So those are my thoughts.